What's up YouTube, Barcode here. Today I bring you a Dungeon Hunter Champions video. Most of you know me, of my subscribers, from Air of Light. I am starting to run some videos for this game as well. Don't worry, I'm still playing the other game more casually than I was. I've started playing this more actively. Today I'm going to bring you a video about tips, guides, and some tricks that you can use along your way in progressing in this game. A lot of discussions that are in chat. I'm going to try to help explain how to answer those as well. Most of the questions that are coming out right now is how to beat board 7 stage 11. That is an important stage because you do get your first vampire set from the mission reward from that, and it pretty much stops everyone on that mission progress quest, so you can't move on until beating that. Unfortunately, the game does not allow you to replay certain levels, only the levels that actually drop rune sets. I wish they could change that so we could actually show you how to defeat that. I thought about making a new account, but it's just too much time. So the best way to put it is I would bring a tank, 2 DPS, and a healer. You could also bring a tank and 2 tanks, a DPS and a healer, or a tank, a support, a DPS, a healer. The main thing you want to do is you need to make sure that healer can sustain your tank, DPS, and the healer itself, so they can auto damage the boss down. What you need to do on that 4th character is take control of that character, and say this screen is the map. The boss is, say, at level 10. You have your 3 guys here. You take control of one of your 4th guy, and over here, where in the 3, 5, and 8 slots per se, towers, little crystal towers, will drop from the sky. This is what gives him that healing regeneration. So what you do as you control him, you can just AoE these down or attack them single targetly. I brought the Fire Archangel, and I just pretty much cleave them all down, and I beat that level just by doing that. Just all I did, I didn't even go over and start attacking the boss again when the crystals were dead. I just stayed there, so when they dropped, I immediately started attacking them and killing them. That is the easiest way to do it. You could, I think from what I understand, is you can glitch it and drag the boss and kite him all the way to the front of the room where you enter the room, and supposedly the crystals can't heal him from there. But the best way that I found out was just taking down those tower crystals. A second thing that I would like to talk about is the use of gems. A lot of people ask, what should I do this early in the game, buy premium packs, etc. What I would do in this beginning of the game, I would actually use them on this little package that they have right now for the Archangel, and just summon through that. I know it's kind of a waste, however, once you get that first Nat 5, that first Archangel, it changes things dramatically. When I did that, I got Fire Archangel, and it changed a lot of things for me, PvP and PvE. So it's definitely good to at least start using summons and gems on here until you pull one. Once you pull one, if you're free to play, I would actually start saving them up for premium packs or energy refreshes. However, if you follow the mission line, you'll get plenty of energy from accomplishments and just for mission rewards. So make sure to do that. Once you get that first Archangel, then just save. Another thing I want to talk about is mission objectives, and this is where we end up seeing all the questions for is, how to beat board 7 stage 11. You get that through the mission objectives. I would follow these as much as possible. There's great rewards in here. There's awakening rewards, there's gold, there's gear, etc. that can progress you in this game. So that's definitely what you want to do, is just follow this mission objective list, which is right here, and you'll be good. If you notice how the rewards from the missions are, it leads you into a path to clearing floor 10 of the Elder Drake. And what I mean by that is it gives you the characters you need to actually succeed. As you can see, the Light Boon Sister, a great healer to have once you have the shards enough to go through with that and summon her. I would use her as your main healer, not necessarily for floor 10, but everywhere else. Another, this Dragon Guard, the tank, he's a nat 3, yes, but he would actually be good in floor 10. He brings he's defense based, does damage on defense, has a slow, raises his own defense, and stuns when the minions come out on the side. Another character is what I'm building is Crowhag. So he has Disorient, which is kind of like a glancing stat. He has ongoing damage, which is a damage over time, which is great and can stack with others. Has a lowered defense, so more damage onto the monster. And then she can actually sacrifice a quarter of her health to reset all of her skills and do it all over again. Also has an accuracy lead. If you need the more accuracy, you can use her in floor 10. Another good thing, so it gives you gear, it gives you awakening stones, things like that. So it's always important to follow this. Now, I say that about hinting towards floor 10 is what I wanted to talk about. Is this game specifically is very element strong. And what I mean by that is I've cleared a lot of floors. If you're having trouble clearing a floor, I've literally geared up a nat 3 level 1 and just made a full fire team or a full forest team, and I was able to clear a stage even with I have nat 3s at level 1 just by putting gear on them. It seems that they do take less damage when they're the stronger element, and in this game I've seen that it makes a clear advantage in progressing in PvE. When you're taking a team and thinking about it a team, so floor 5 and floor 10 for the Elder Drake is actually water. So in this instance, this is a good opportunity to actually build a full forest team. You don't necessarily need full forest. You can bring forest and water because water is not weak against water. But forest is definitely stronger in that area, and a full forest team would just benefit you tremendously. So what I like to talk about, and as you see floor 7, which is another good floor to farm. It starts dropping 6-star runes at a rare rate. However, starting out and focusing on clearing and getting gear is a good way to start, and doing that is focusing on a full forest team. Now, what you can do is, and I'm sure you've seen different guides, if you're looking at guides on YouTube and you have found me that you aren't a subscriber, there is other guides out there that have, what monsters to level up, etc. So I'm not really going to go towards that. However, what I want to focus on is telling you exactly what you could do. Now, some people like using like a Nat 2, which is that Goblin Shaman, or Grublin Shaman. He is good, but there is other characters that are Nat 3s that you can get the same skills. Disorient lowers attack speed, and then you do get a defense buff and an attack buff. However, he doesn't bring damage. All he brings is buffs, and you can get those same skills in other places. So currently, what I'm doing right now, in the Elder Drake, you kind of want either an attack break or a defense buff, a disorient, maybe some ongoing damage, which is the damage over times, and some support, some heals for you. What I'm building right now for floor 5 and floor 10 is a full forest team. And when you want to start out, like I said, you want to start out with just thinking your mind Nat 3s. You can't predict what the game's going to give you, so if you just focus on your Nat 3s, your full forest, and go through that, you can have a team for floor 5 at least, and then floor 7 going into floor 10. Okay, so what I am starting to build is you can do a couple different things. So I looked for a disorient monster first. I found the Forest Crowhag. Okay, she has a disorient on the basic attack, so attack speed would be nice. Get some accuracy on her, to do more damage. This second skill isn't too much, but it is life stealing, and with this skill that sacrifices a quarter of her health to reset her skills, she is very nice to have a life steal on that. The third skill is a defense break, and it's an ongoing damage, which is awesome. Accuracy, like I said in earlier in the video, a good accuracy lead is good to have if you don't plan on using something else like health or something like that. So the second person, which is a Nat 2, but he is an amazing healer and very easy to skill up, and I know you've seen videos about this, but I saw it on my own, and it is this Forest Crystal Priest. So the Crystal Priest, especially at max skill, does much more healing. The skill cooldowns decrease, just very easy to skill. There's not many other, there is good forest healers, but her or him, it's a crystal guy, he's very good to have. The first skill doesn't really give much, so you don't really need attack speed on them, just tanky HP on the gear, just to keep him survivability, and his heals when he heals himself will heal him for more. So we have a healer, and not to mention, these heals, 7-second counter and a 10-second counter for the reset for it to come back up. So it's just low cooldowns. It's nice to have. For a tank, I was leveling this the Forest Dragon Guard, but like I said, I focused on Nat 3s. I was able to summon this awesome forest tank, which is right here, which is the Scanned Warlord. Okay, what is good about him? Well, Nat 4, higher base stats, which is awesome. However, he has ongoing damage on his second skill, inflicts ongoing damage, and that's an area of effect, which is nice. If the monster already has ongoing damage on them, which mine would from the Crow Hag, it puts a slow on them, which is great to have. The main attack gets ongoing damage, and he gets haste. Okay, and it seems like in this game tanks do a lot of damage. I mean, it's all their skills are made on max HP, and if you compare the damage, early game, I should say, when you don't have the greatest of runes, I mean, tanks do a lot of damage. He's also great in PvP from what I see. He charges in and fears everyone. If he slams a person into the wall, it stuns them. This works in PvE also on the little minions, so it's a great skill to have. He also heals himself, so 15% of the damage done, and damage and healing is increased for each stack of ongoing damage. So it's just a great tank to have. He has a leader skill of max HP of nature champions, so if you bring a full forest team, there's your passive to keep a little bit survivability. If you don't need it, then you can go with something else like accuracy or something like that. From there, you have your tank, you have your healer, you have your damage, support type. You could go with you could go with some water monsters. What I am going to try to test out is this Candy Cannon. The Candy Munchkin. So what's good about her? Her basic attack is based on the enemy's max HP, raises her own crit, so you can build her crit damage a lot easier, puts a slow on enemies, okay, and also more damage upon the enemy's max HP. If you needed more attack, you could use this passive for 33% attack to boost her attack in the boss raids, which is the Elder Drake. So I'm going to test her out on like an attack crit damage attack build. Obviously I need good runes on her, so it's just something to look forward to. I actually wanted to talk about a farmer as well. A lot of people, the game gives you a water spearman, which is a great farmer. He has lifesteal in his kit already, and with lifesteal runes, it would even be good to have the extra heal. I actually pulled this guy, a Scam Berserker. I actually like his skill set, and I'm gonna try him out on the vamp. The vamp gear that I got, I actually put on him. So he deals an additional 100% bonus damage on his basic skill when his HP is below 30%. Deals damage and marks the target, so which is an awesome skill in this game. Mark, it pretty much allows everyone to focus on that mark. So this is also 30% lifesteal if you're enraged, which is by this last skill, Juggernaut. I'll get to that in a second, but bonus damage based on attack speed, which is great. The faster attacks he has, the more he's healing. Juggernaut, this is awesome. So you become enraged, you get damage reflection, you get immunity, and you get undying, which you cannot die if you have that buff. Only way you can die is if it gets stripped, or the buff, falls off of him. So I'm gonna try him out as my farmer. Otherwise, I'll just go back to the Water Spearman and just have more survivability from him. But as you can see in Arena, a lot of people use him and use him on Vamp, and in early stages, I just bring this Forest guy and to counter him. So I think it'll be just something to look forward to again for myself. So what we already have, back to floor 10 and floor 5, is we have the tank, we have DPS, we have a healer. So you're looking for that 5th spot. With the Crystal Priest here, does have low cooldowns, does have 2 great heals. If he's not keeping your team alive, you could always go with a second healer, and you can bring either Water or Forest. Or if the Crystal Priest is keeping your team up, you could go with another ongoing damage over time person. I wouldn't really necessarily bring a nuke unless you're having trouble with the minions. If I pulled this Water Snake Lady, which has an ongoing dot, and I have a couple other different choices as well, such as I pulled a Dark Timekeeper, which has a ongoing dot here as well, ongoing damage, yep, and also heals. So I would bring like either a mage, somebody has multiple different things, or even in a attack break. Here's another good example to have, which I was gonna start to build her if I still have her. It's the Forest Valkyrie. So the Forest Valkyrie it's kind of like a speed type nuker that has lower defense and lowers attack. That would be another great person to have, or you could add that 5th and common spot that everybody seems to be using, is the Forest Goblin, the Grublin Shaman. So those are my tips and tricks for floor 10. That's what I'm working towards. Whether it works or not, in theory, I think it will. I just need more time. I only started the game about 3 or 4 days ago. I think I was 2 days later than everyone else. So I'm just trying to play catch up, and this is what I think is going to be helpful. One more quick tip, even if you're not trying to compete for Arena, make sure to always use your Arena energy so that you get the honor points, because the honor points are important, because in the shop, in the PvP shop, you always want to get these Tutor Fuzzle Buffs. What are these names? Tutor Fuzzle Buffs. So this will increase the skill of any monster you feed it to. Now you don't want to use that on Nat 3s. Debatably don't want to use it on Nat 4s. You kind of want to save them for your Nat 5 stars that you get to pull. Unless you really aren't pulling anything and you have like 12 of these sitting and just waiting, and you have a Nat 4 that possibly could do a lot more benefit from getting their skill ups, you might want to use them on them. However, I would recommend saving them for 5 stars. So that's the time I have for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching and tuning in. I still will be doing some Air of Light videos. I'll be doing more of these as well. So just stay tuned, like, subscribe, hit that bell to get notifications. I did start streaming on YouTube for Air of Light during a rush hour. I still will most likely do that as well. I might move over to Twitch just to see how much audience I would get from that. So it's just stay tuned and we'll figure it out from there. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.